Yeah, well, hello and welcome back to the grind here. So, on to the Porsche 924, 1979 Porsche 924. Now, this week I've spent most of the time, well, it's a pretty short one this week, anyhow, but I've got most of the interior back into it. I think last time I got the dashboard onto it, but I've got the chairs, seats in it, and center console, except for the little bit of fabric that goes around the shifter there. That's pending on getting that thing going. Now and the door card on the other side, but all the instruments and everything are in it. I haven't checked if the electricity works because I've been going, I've got the fuel distributor out of it now, and that's for next week. And I also was able to check out this Bing in here, and it's not too serious. I can deal with it. So then, what did we do? We got just a short one this week because I was doing some other stuff. I was down to a neighbor's place with the sawmill and working down there, and I also did a bunch of time on the blueberry wagon there to get it. We got the rails on there to be able to put the stuff on it. What do you call that? Put the rack on it there, the blue rack. Anyway, you'll see that coming up sometime if you're interested. So, hope you enjoy it, and stick around. You'll see everything I did, and don't forget to like it and subscribe. And I do appreciate that if you do. So, there you go. See you along the way. Stick around. Bye now. Yeah, okay, here I am. It's about a week after. Now, I've spent this week partly working on the bed for that truck there, and then I went, if you notice, the wood mill is gone, so I took the wood mill down to a neighbor's place, and we've spent a couple of days milling some wood. Now it's muddy down there today, so no milling today, so I'll work on, and I need the tractor up here to work on the truck, so I'm back on the Porsche, right? And that's nice. I like the Porsche. So what's been going on? Nothing since you last saw me was with that speedometer thing, so I'll put that into the dashboard, I hope. Get things hooked up again here, and I have the electronic ignition for it in the house, and I have a couple other things that came along in the house, so I'll try and get them installed into it, and then see how it runs, or if it runs again, and see if we can get it. And I have a rebuild kit for this thing here that I did some research on it, and I've got it all wrong, and this thing down here I've forgotten about for now, but we'll get something about that too. That'll have to be get it up on the lift for that. So this will all come off anyhow to get into that, and then I'll get it up on the lift. So first off, I'll get the dashboard back together, maybe even put the seats back into it, and that'll be good for now. Okay. Yeah, so I had a question on what size do you take for that? Now if I measure them up here, on the millimetric side, it's like 36 millimeters, give or take a bit. I think that's the right way to measure that thing. I'll test it with a couple other bolts that I know the size of.
Yeah, so there I took out the cotter key and I checked it out. A 1 7/16 socket fits on there with no trouble.
Or a 36 millimeter socket, right? Okay. Yeah, there I took the you just push that instrument stuff out, and then I cleaned it off a bit and straightened it out, put it back in. This one here I won't even well, it's not in the right spot, so I guess I should take it out and fix it up too. Oh dear. Okay, that's what I'll do. Yeah, I know. So I decided that I got them all in there the right way. Like that one's in not as far as this one, but they all look okay from the front. And then I figured I'd put a bit of duct tape on them so they don't get rattling around and pop out on me. Pretty sure they wouldn't anyhow, but you never know. Yeah, here now, I'm getting all the wires on here again. So now these ones, fairly simple to tell where the lights go, right? Light, light, light. There might have been a light in one of those holes over there a long time ago. This one here, I had a look at my old video. So the brown one goes here. Whoops. Brown one, this brown one goes here. That's a green and this is a black. That's how that goes. This wire here, whoops. This wire, I don't know, I don't have a home for it. I don't know why. Don't know where it goes. It'll likely become apparent someday. There, now that's all set to go. Black, green, and brown, right? This one here, this is a ground wire for here. That's fairly simple to know. This one here, it's got everything's in that wiring bucket there. Now the trick is to be able to reach in behind and up and down and hold your tongue right to get that hooked onto the back of the speedometer here. So I'll start doing that. Yeah, now this thing here, the windshield wiper and blinkers and all that slides on there, and it just slides on. I'm not sure which way that goes. I think it goes the other way around. I think it goes this way to go on there. Maybe I'll just pull that out and just see what happens if it goes down. Because it's got to be up against that bearing there. I'll just put this aside. It's pretty heavy on that back side. Anyway, I'll see if I can get this back onto there. I think that's where it goes, how it goes. I don't see any. Let me check on the steering wheel and see what's on the steering wheel. Yeah, I didn't explain what I did here now. So that's all in there. This, I gotta pull that down a bit, then that'll snap in. Okay, so that screw is in. See the screw up there, and the screw is in up there. So the top is seated directly. This bottom here, I didn't notice that was holding on there, so I'll get a screwdriver underneath that and see if I can get that sorted out. Yeah, I guess the dash instruments are supposed to go in before the key goes in. Anyway, but that's, so you just got to lift up on, I got too many hands being used here. Lift up on the, wait a minute, there. Lift up on this little, right here, the plastic there, just push down a bit and then that'll push over it and make it right. And that makes it an awful lot easier for that to sit in, get seated right. So it looks pretty good now. I'm happy with that. Okay, now, next is getting this contraption here on, right? And it just slides in here, like that. Got it on the right way, yeah. Letters are up. I might get a new one of these someday, but not right today. And then the wiring, these wires go onto the back of it. 2 sets of wires go on there, so I think that's just a bunch of fumbling underneath the dashboard, right? Yeah, now I've assembled this whole thing outside, away from the car. This piece of plastic, where am I here? The little piece of plastic here has to go in before this goes in there, or you know, before you tighten this down anyhow, or else it just won't go on to there. There's a couple of little doodads that go in here and here that I'm pretty sure are for returning the when the steering wheel comes around, it returns the signal light thing. They've gone missing into the void there, and I put them in about 10 times and they just keep falling out. So there's something, one of these days, like I say, one of these days I'll get a new one of them and go through this whole process once again, right? Anyway, but for now, I might be able to get it hooked together because here's the wire. Here, up here is the wires, right? Up here, they just about come out to there, so I can just about get them started and then push the wires in, right? So I'll give that a go. Yeah, so all those wires are on the back of it now. That was a little bit of a chore. So I can put this back on. Oh, yeah, that'll go in there. So I just put that on, and then I take a socket, right? And a rubber hammer and just tap it in there. That didn't work, did it? Hang on, I'll just set you up. You can see what's happening here. Right here. Yep, right there. Okay, a little black thing there, and that's all centered now. Now the steering wheel can go on sometime. That works. That works. And the ignition key is there. So now next is the center console stuff, right? See if I can figure that stuff out. Well, this one's here's something real low-hanging fruit. This thing here. I'll just put that on. It goes over there on that. And I think that was for holding the radio, hey, in the old days. So we'll just see what it holds now. Nothing. Yeah, now here's the center console, and it just, I cleaned it off some, and it just slides back in there, and then the instrument cluster here, this goes in, and everything is, this hole there gets this switch here, whatever that is. It looks like fog lights or something. Maybe it's rear window defrost. Maybe. Oh, I don't know what it is. Whatever it is, it's there. And I'll figure it out someday. Yeah, there you go. There's a mess of wires here, so there the hell are. So, cigarette lighter gets a red wire and a ground wire. This switch here doesn't seem to have any wires to it. It seems to be just a decoration, you know, fill in a hole there. Don't know why. And then I think there might be a couple of screws that's supposed to go up in here. I'll check into that before I put it all together here. Yeah, I'm pretty sure there's a couple of screws go up in there. Okay, gotta figure that out. Yeah, there, that's back in place. Hopefully everything worked now. Like I said, that switch there doesn't have anything on it. Electricity's hooked there, electricity's hooked there. I saw this other part for it right here. That's what that is. That'll be your cigarette lighter. This is the wires for the radio, which is not there anymore. So there's these two screws at the top that hold this, plus there's two screws that go up into here to hold it, to hold the dashboard stuff. Now I can tighten these ones here, and that'll be okay. Then the ashtray goes in here afterwards. It's supposed to be easier with a socket, but this is what I have in my hand, so this is what we're using today. I put great big washers on here just because those plastic things are getting broken. Now this switch here, that's for the mirrors, electric mirrors, somehow or other. So that thing there switches side to side on the mirrors, and that's what that does. This switch here, I've deleted it. Somebody cut that out of there and did an ugly job on it. I might have to just put a switch in there, just a decoration switch. This part here I'll worry about later because it needs some reworking. And let me out of here because my legs are asleep. Oh dear me. Now I'll fall over likely. Oh yeah. Walking on a stump foot, right? Oh dear. Really asleep. Anyhow, get that back to normal. And there you go. That's interior coming back together. Should I get the chairs? Put the chairs in it? Then I can put the steering wheel on. I think everything's there is done. That's interesting. Yep, I'll do that. I'll get the chairs. Yeah, I better put these in before I put the seat in. These are like window trim things, right? See if I can get them back into place. And maybe even the visors. But I won't worry too much about visors. There's one seat back into it. This can go lean back a bit, I think. That looks more like it. Haven't tried it out yet. I'll get the other seat out and then maybe try it out. Other seat in, I mean. Then maybe try it out. See how it feels. Okay, carry on. Yeah, there's the driver's seat in. Maybe I'll try them out, will I? See if I can fold myself into this little car, which is, I'll pull some of these tools out of here. It's a chore for me to get folded in and out of this car. Well, not really a chore, but it's not as easy as some cars. Oh, well now, that is a comfortable seat. That's all right. I like that. Lots of leg room. I think I've got the seat most of the way back, yeah. And the seat's all the way back and my feet get up close to the floor there, but I gotta sit back in the seat a bit here. Hang on while I get myself sorted out. There. Oh yeah, lots and lots of room. I don't get anywhere near. Mind you now, if somebody was in the back seat, they'd have to be pretty tiny to make it all right. And then this stuff's all here, except I have to I have to fix this thing or make a new thing for it or do something, and then it needs a new piece of leather or new piece of leather. That's the final. Okay, let me go over to the other side and try it out. See if I can get into that side. Whoa, that's a challenge for me here. No steering wheel to grab onto in this case yet. That'll be soon. There now. Oh yeah, I'm way back here. Like way back. I've got lots of brakes and the clutch works. Hey. So that's okay. And then the seat needs to come forward just a bit. Like a little bit more, but yet somewhere around there for driving. So that's good. Well, now I'm happy with all that. I'll put the grill on there and that'll finish that off. This here, right in behind here, there's a little metal piece that you stick the metal piece on with that little screw right there. Then you jam it in behind the dash here and then put those ones on, and that sucks everything in nice and flat on the way it should be. And this trim here, like that looks all right. Like it doesn't look terrible. Doesn't look great, but it doesn't look terrible. Might get another little piece of trim for right here and just fix that up a bit. And same on the other side. But for now, I'm happy. Yep, there you go. Okay, that's all for now. Maybe I'll put on the steering wheel onto it and see how it looks with the steering wheel in it. And that'll be the interior back together, right? Yeah, so whoops, point the light at you. See down there, there's the bolt down there, and that's basically straight, I think, where it's supposed to be. Now this bit here, like there's a grounding thing there, there's a grounding thing there, and I cleaned off the ring on the back of this. I forgot to show you. Cleaned off the ring on the back of this with a bit of emery board, and then I cleaned off the well, here, I'm going to clean off these contacts with a bit of emery cloth too. Excuse me, I smelled glue in here. Anyhow, but when I was gluing the seats together, I oversprayed glue and I got some on this steering wheel. So, but it's cleaned off now. Now this part here, I put it on like that and it just pops in, whoops, into these springs on here and here and here, and that goes right there. So I'll show you when I get it done. Well, maybe I'll just, can you see what I'm doing? Difficult. difficult sometimes. Yeah, right there. So here, this goes in here, pretty easy, grounded, and those things go on there, and that's how that goes on. That's tight, and hopefully the horn works now. We'll just see. If the horn doesn't work, it's some other problem. There you go. So that's all together. That looks pretty good. Now I'll give it some light up here. Yeah, so there's the dash. It's got 8,700 kilometers on it. So it's like it got 100 plus 8,700. And all the gauges seem to work. That light there's a battery light over here on the left hand side. There's a battery light, and below it there's a fuel light. And in the middle of that there's don't know what that light's for, but there's nothing that goes in that hole. All this stuff seems to be there, and there's a green wire down here hanging around down here. I don't know, can you see that? Where is it? Yeah, see that green wire? That goes over to the air conditioning stuff, but I don't know for sure what it does, so I'll look into that. Now I better find the grill and put it in there, and that'll be a finished deal. Then I can carry on to other stuff with the interior. Interior's okay. I'm not going to go crazy on it because it's, you know, it's actually in fairly decent shape. That door card over there is like never been used, hey? And this door card here has been used hard. And now I have to figure out also how the electric mirrors work, because the electric mirrors do something. Don't know what yet. And I have to get this door here sorted out. I had to do some welding right there a long time ago. I did some welding on that door, and I think it needs to be adjusted a bit so that it's going inward a bit, but I'm not really sure on that, so we'll figure it out. It'll get figured out. That's pending. There you go. That's all for today, I think. And yeah, that's me sitting in the Porsche. How do you like that, eh? Can't see my hand on the steering wheel. Yeah, you can. There you are. And the seats are comfortable. So there you go. See you later. Yeah. What's going on there now? There it is. It's working. Hey, here I am. It's Friday morning. Now I've only had a couple of days work on the Porsche this week, so this will be kind of a short one by the end of the day. But now I did get all the interior put back into it and looking not too bad. Bunch of tools hanging around in there. I put in the glove box, right? I don't have a clasp or a closer for the glove box. I'll have to see what I can find for that. See what, maybe in the car somewhere. Who knows, eh? There's stuff sort of around. And there's the steering wheel's on, the dashboard's all into it. It looks okay in there. And I think everything is okay. Who knows, right? Who knows indeed. Anyhow, I'll leave it at that for now, and we'll go ahead and what else do I have to do in here? Anything? See, I put this grill in, right? Put the ashtray in here. Ashtray, I cleaned it out last night in rust remover, but that's as good as it gets. I put this is a fake switch here just because somebody had drilled a hole there, so I put that fake switch back in there. Nothing on it. This one here is the rocker switch for the mirror adjustment, electric mirrors. All the stuff. This button here is a fake switch. There's nothing on that. It's a 0. And the heater controls seem to work. They don't work perfectly, but it's a 40-year-old car, so nothing's going to work perfectly, I think. And now I think I can take it down off my little trays here, and I'll put it on the lift and start working on the stuff in here. In my bag of goodies, here, what's in this bag of goodies? Bag of goodies number 1 here. This thing here, that's your electronic ignition module for it. I hope. And this thing here, this is the rebuild kit for the fuel thing. Fuel, oh, what do you call that thing? This one, the fuel distributor. But I'm going to take that all out until I get something done about this right here. I'll see what I can do about that. And then I'll do the rebuild on that. And that'll be well more than today. So if I'm lucky, I'll get this thing here looked at today, and we'll see where we go. Funny place to hide a hammer, right? Put it with my pile of hammers. Anyway, here I go. I'm done with the interior for now. I was thinking about doing that door card, but I think I'll leave that for a bit until I'm pondering on the door card. This thing here, it needs a new rubber along there. I don't know what to do about that. Oh, we're gonna see here. Still have to put that hose into the defrost over here, and I have to get a new hose for over there. But the interior looks all right. That's come together pretty nicely. I'd like one of these days, if it's I might put new carpeting into it one of these days, but not today, and not this time around. It's got the seats fixed up to be nice looking, and they'll be fine the way they are for a while. Just see how long before they rip out again. I don't know. Who knows? Maybe I don't have heavy enough material on the seat covers, but they're fine. And then where I'm at now, up here. Okay, I gotta do some cleaning up in here, and then I'll get the car up on the lift again and see where we go. Yeah, they're cleaned up some. This is mostly cleaned off. I'll just wipe it down before I do anything serious on it. And all that junk that was around here, there was junk everywhere. Volkswagen bits, BMW bits, and like the BMW I pulled out of the garage here 2 years ago, right? What do you know? Anyhow, I cleaned that all up and put it away in a more appropriate location. Another pile of junk somewhere else, eh? Anyway, but that's made it so I've got room to move in here again. And now I'll lift this up off of those little stands and then get at it. Put it up on the lift. Did I ever show you this? I got one of these things here. Whatever you call this thing here. Pneumatic lift. And it sure makes jacking up the car an awful lot easier than with the old hydraulic one that goes doompa 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 doomp. You just hit it with the gas and away it goes. I'll show you. On the back here, I'll pull this back one up. Hang on, I'll get set up and going. Yeah, there you get it set up underneath the jacking position and hook the hose to it. And whoops. This one here is a release, right? So yeah, that's pretty close to the right spot. So the wheels on the other side there, but sometimes they just don't cooperate 100%. I think that's the jack spot there, right? So up she goes. Now, is that high enough to get this out from underneath? No, so I'll have to cheat a bit and put a 2x4 on there. So, 2x4. Oops, down a bit more. And try again. But it doesn't have the same rigidity that a normal jack does, like, so it'll flop around a bit on you if you're not careful. Anyhow, that's how quick that is. Wonder if that went high enough here to get this one out of there. No. Oh, sorry, down it comes. You can hear it coming down on an angle there because it's not, doesn't go quite, 100% straight. Anyhow, that's one side done. I'll get this one here done, and then I'll go to the other side. Yeah, there, it's back on the lift, and yeah, the doors open fine. What's on the lift? Now, I should have got my tools out of here before I put it on the lift. Oh well, don't matter. So now I'm going to, next on my list is take off the fuel system and take off that, get the whole rigmarole out of the way there. So that'll be, yeah, I don't remember. Those bolts there's 6 bolts that hold it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 that hold the top on. And I'm not sure what's on the bottom. There's this bolt here. We'll just get the top off and then see what's underneath. How about that? So first off, just move this air filter out of the way. This thing here will just pop up out of the way soon. I have to unscrew it right there. Okay, I'll get at that. Wait a minute, I'll get a screwdriver. Wonder where. Okay, hang on. Yeah, so this stuff all around here, right? This comes off first. Yeah, that one there needs replacing, that one there needs replacing. Well, I might as well put 3 new ones on. I think I have some of them right here. Might do the job. Those aren't them, but similar things somewhere up in here. I'll find some. And then you can actually see what's going on here with this crack in the frame. Now how shall I tackle fixing that? Looks like somebody might have, oops, no, I don't think so. I think it's just, I don't know if somebody welded on that before or not, but this pump for the air conditioning's in the way, and there's all sorts of interesting stuff going on there. Like, what would that be for, I wonder? Oh, it's a ground wire of some sort, and they wanted to keep it out of the way of the belt. Yeah, that's a good idea to keep it out of the way of the belt, but surely you can find a better way than that. Anyway, there, and then this thing here just sort of slides off out of the way. And that air pump there, I'm thinking there's nothing wrong with that. They just unhooked it because they didn't want to use it. Maybe. That's a maybe. Who knows? But this definitely needs fixing right here. So how will I do that, I wonder? I'll think about it a bit. Anyway, gotta clean it off a bit before I do anything. Yeah, so there's the rubber things right there. These ones are just a tad longer. I don't think it'll make any difference. They'll get squished down eventually, right? So there's 3 of them missing, and well, there's 3 of them in total. 2 of them are broken, 1 is still working. So I'll just, and I happen to have 3 of them, but I'll order up some more of those so I have them on hand. Nice to have stuff on hand. Now I'll put the car up and I'll have a look at this from underneath and see if I can see anything underneath there that's glaring at me, and see how I can get it to be a fixable item. Yeah, here I am underneath, and looking up here. Now I've got light in one hand and camera in the other hand. How do I get this stuff so it's gonna work together? Right here is where that crack is. You see that? Just barely. Anyhow, that crack is right about there. Comes down and stops right here. Don't know what would have caused that. Something did. Something hit it, hey? But this bulge, I thought the bulge was supposed to be, was part of the problem, but the bulge is supposed to be there. That's the way that it looks like it's built. I think it got hit, and I think there's a little bit of bulging to it right there. That's more than what it was supposed to be, but not too bad at all, really. I think I can go and I'll just be able to weld the top of that thing together and put a little bit of a patch down this side of it here. Just weld that crack up together down that side, and then I think we'll be fine. I don't think there's any serious damage because it's from here forward. Now I'm pretty sure that it affected this side of the car because it's hard to get that wheel that's lined up. Lining it up for back and forth is no problem, but getting it lined up on the camber was a problem. That had to push it all the way to this very limit on the camber, and then I had to change that one so that they were matching sort of camber-ish, right? They're supposed to be within whatever, how many minutes it was. Anyhow, but I did that. So I don't see it being a big problem there. That's not a big issue up here, and I'll get that sorted out right soon. Right soon? That's a good way to say it. Right, very soon. Okay, now where am I? I think it's about quitting time today, anyhow. So I'll bring this one to a close, I think. Yeah. So it's 4:38, 4:30-ish, which is close enough to close this off. I don't want to do any. If I have to get into something, I'm going to be into it for hours. So anyway, here I am. So we've got this bit out. We got the interior put back together. Mostly, yeah. I think all of it. Inspected this thing here, and it's not bad. All of the fuel lines are hung up there. So then, that's it for this week. We'll little bit short one today. This week, we'll get this tackled next week, and we'll also get the distributor thing tackled next week. That'll be coming also. Okay, so now thanks very much for watching, and sure hope you enjoyed it. I enjoy doing these things. So, well, there's a crack here too in the bodywork, right? Have to do some, I'll do a bit of grinding on that one day. And then this is sort of, that's the way it's supposed to be, I guess. Who knows how it's supposed to be. That might be pushed up a bit. Anyway, that's how it is. It's what we have and what we'll work with. This is rubber here, so that's the way it's supposed to be. But I think that whole front end is pushed down a little bit. Maybe. Pushed up, pushed down. Who knows? It's fairly close to right, but not completely right. So, see you next week. Yeah, here, November 9. And Buster and I are coming out of the cove. Now all that snow we had last week is taken away to somewhere, melted off. But it's been kind of rainy and then sunny and then rainy and then rainy and then rainy. A little bit cool lately. Not cold enough to make ice or anything like that, but certainly the summer's over a long time ago and winter's coming on. Looks like pretty high tide today. And the sun might come out here a little bit later. It was raining all night. But there's the sun coming through the clouds over there. We hope. Yeah, so there you have it. Another day at the cove. See you later.